Hello, chat. How is everybody today? Happy Wednesday, and welcome to another lovely game. It's Star Trek night, and we are going to see what happens to our intrepid crew when they reach the other side of Romulan space. Will we run into more strange critters that try to eat our faces? Probably. Almost certainly. But how is everybody? Everybody's ready for us. And yes, every week I say, I'm totally going to stream more. Honest. But work's been kicking my butt, so I haven't been streaming much. So I will try to stream tomorrow. We'll see. No guarantees. Space trailer. Oh man. Listen, I have spent so much time in the last, couple weeks also just space trucking in Star Citizen and other games. I am fully committed to the pickup trucks in space. I'm all about this. And hope you are as well, chat. So I am going to switch over to our beloved intro. And we are unmuted. Welcome. Everything's coming up correctly.
Hey.
Woo!
Yay! Nick's still having problems, but
aren't we all really at the end of the day?
Okay. It's doing it to me again. It's doing it to me again.
What is it doing to you?
Nick's back, but he's not back.
Oh, he's not back for us either. He's still black screen for us. So
I see him on my end.
You see him on your end? I don't see him.
Wait, I see him in the stream.
I just want everybody watching to know that this is what's been going on for the last 20 minutes.
All right.
This didn't just start.
Literally 20 minutes.
Nick, just if you can say something for the folks at home.
I can't hear him.
I don't think he's saying anything. Could you say something? Do you hear anything? Okay, well.
Welcome to the future.
This is great.
I
see him now.
I don't see him. It's kind of imperative that I see him and hear him.
Oh my gosh. Well, it was working, and now it's differently not working. So apparently we're just... so my dice are in charge of the stream video, and they're all over the place.
It's complication after complication in this bitch.
I thought we maxed out on complications already.
And now I see him in Grid Fam. I don't see him on stream.
I'm not even watching the stream.
I'm reset.
I'm just watching Grid Fam, and I don't see him here.
Tack.
Okay, let me do a quick bloop.
Smoke bomb.
There.
This is great.
Okay, well, now I see him in Grid Fam, but not on stream.
I don't see him either.
We hear him. Ow. Ow. But yeah, that worked.
Who's exploding?
That's very...
I don't hear him at all. Do you hear him, Mark?
No, I'm gonna try logging out and logging in and see.
This is insane.
Ow.
This
Whatever
is
you
how
did.
the show starts. This is really grabbing everybody out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Meanwhile,
They come for it.
Meanwhile, on the Danielson,
Like every one of our fans is like, I like Star Trek, but I really come to watch them struggle with Grid Fam for
And
2+
everything.
hours.
Just life in general. It's... Oh, wait. Oh, my God. I need another monitor.
Hey, I see Nick now.
All right. I, again, see him in Grid Fam and not in... Wait, I have an idea.
oh, we have ideas. Prepare for explosions, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously.
All right.
Hey, I heard explosions.
Yes!
Is that a good thing?
Success!
Hey!
I can't hear him.
Awesome. Everybody's here
Or
but
see 'em.
the GM. So that's good, right?
You probably have, I had to log out and log in. You probably need to
All right, I'll log back out, log back in.
Listen.
Be back in a second.
All right.
Hopefully, guys. Hopefully.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. All right.
I repeat, I'm just viewing this as in characters. There's just explosions all over the ship right now. It's,
Listen, this is
it's a
Oh,
regular
there he is.
consistent.
day.
Wait, everybody's here now.
All right.
See 'em.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't move. Don't anybody move.
See, this is what
Is that
happens. I'm the pilot, and for some reason, I keep being in charge of everything.
This is a real question of what I'm gonna, whether I leave this in or not for the edit. I'll tell you right now.
No, leave it in. Leave it in. Really, leave it in.
Or make some fun.
Uh,
We make some fun jump cuts with. Or like, what's a copyright free version of the Benny Hill theme?
Yeah.
I think it is copyright.
You
Yeah,
know,
it is
that
copyright.
we'll
Yeah,
have
I
to
don't
check
know.
that. I want to anyway.
I don't know.
We'll have to check
All right.
that.
I mean, if
that's
it
when
is,
you
I've just
play
ruined
that
us
and
all right
speed
there.
up and just speed it up. Just let's get through this.
All right, let's do this. Let's get into this before Grid Fam explodes again. All right, so Star Trek Axiom opens on the Danielson and its very tired, exhausted crew. Their journey to the Frontier 1 has finally come to an end. They come out of warp to see the large... Sorry, fizzy drinks, everybody. It's going to happen. The large, very original and unique design space station. It's basically a large cylinder unit with 4 discs, three discs, kind of surrounding the top half of it. And it's really cool looking. One of the discs looks still kind of under construction at the moment. Right away, you guys get docking instructions from the station, and sorry, it's gonna happen. Basically, you guys are instructed to leave what remains of the it was the Fabienne, right? Fabienne, basically kind of floating in space.
Weird pointy bug thing. That's
You didn't take that with you.
no.
I listened back to the episode. You guys argued about it, then it started to disintegrate. Then Nick recorded it disintegrating, and then you flew away. I remember very
Okay, good.
specifically. That's the chain of events that happened there.
It was tractor beams or phasers. We couldn't decide before it vaporized. I dropped some images of the station in the Discord. in
Yep.
case.
I'm gonna put that up in the background.
Oh, cool. Well, that makes things easy. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful station, designed by Mr. Mark Bell as well. And I can
Can somebody
that because
drop
that's
the,
his screen name. What?
Can somebody drop the link for the Foundry in the Twitch chat? Because apparently if I try to do anything else outside of what I have open right now, it destroys everybody else's experience. I don't know what that's.
I don't want to put that in the Twitch chat because it's not password locked.
Oh, right.
Oh, I can send it to you on can I send it to you on Hangouts?
Let's not for now. How about
Okay.
just somebody else roll for me? I mean, you can see my sheet and everything. It changes nothing, right?
Can do.
Yeah.
Great,
you can-
cool.
All right.
Here's the Ferengi dice. There you go.
Dabo. All right. So, all right. So you guys are brought in. You're docked, and basically everybody starts to leave the ship. You guys are, for the time being, on leave. I mean, you're not exactly sure how quickly you'll get a mission, but you can't imagine that they're going to send you right back out after what happened. Then again,
That would
you
never
were sent
happen.
here under the pretense under you guys getting all murdered, so might happen. Who knows? Nonetheless, you guys unload. There's a lot of people meeting you. There's a whole staff kind of like ready for you guys to come in. It's kind of chaos. It's organized chaos where they're kind of trying to tell you guys where your assignments will be for sleeping and when you're on the station, stuff like that. They've actually managed to give you all designated rooms while you're staying on the station. Like really cool stuff. And this is a really state-of-the-art station. I mean, all three of the empires have put all of their resources into this station. It is the foothold into the beta quadrant, so you know that whole thing. At this point, however, you guys get your assignments for like sleeping quarters or whatever. As soon as you do, though, you see a procession kind of coming your way towards the. I'm assuming all the senior staff kind of stay together at first as you guys get off the ship.
That was my plan, yeah.
Off the shuttle or whatever. Okay, so you guys are all kind of standing there when a procession comes towards you, led by Admiral Anderson. Squat dude, heavy set, bald, kind of a skullet of hair, kind of a Wilford Brimley beard going on. And you know him as a... What'd you say?
Diabetes.
Diabetes. I'm not gonna do that voice. You know him as a tough but fair, real tough scrapper of a sort of general. And he kind of walks over to you guys and I'm assuming you all salute. He goes at ease. He goes, Captain, staff, good to have you here. Nice to see you here. You guys really came through out there for us. It's terrible that we couldn't have gotten to the fab being faster, but it is what it is.
We did our best. But we'll have to look and make sure that there's hopefully more ships in case there's other things like this out in this region.
Well, honestly, we were planning on briefing you once you got here. But we are aware of the Shint. And Narc, he does say it directly out and in the open in the cargo hole. Just says it like it's not a thing that should be hidden and scared to reveal. But he goes, we are actually aware of the Shint. And it was something we were planning on briefing all of our ships on once they got here. Unfortunately, well, obviously, you guys had a meeting that was unplanned, to be sure.
Just to clarify, the Shint is the alien.
There's the guys that
we
yes, they're the aliens. It's very the Shint is Captain. I think I have to deal with that problem that we talked about before with my bathroom arrangements.
Yeah, Narc, go take care of that. I think you're good.
Okay. I'm zip out of the cargo bay, straight to the security office.
Okay. You zip out. At this point, he continues. He goes, so, Narc, he's an interesting fellow there, Captain.
Yeah, he's best science officer you could want to have. He has some. It's that the Shintar have a. When folks experience them the first time, it's a strong reaction.
Look, I'm gonna say this right now. You have my sincerest apologies to you. I don't like to send my crew, my captains, or my ships out without the proper education. This was the kind of situation we thought it was a low chance of you running into the Shint before whatever. So we did not expect that. As said, you guys are all tired. You've been through hell. I also got your report on the Doug encounter, which we're gonna have to talk to you about that at some point. But there's other things going on here in the Beta Quadrant that I can't wait to brief you and your crew on. So, but for right now, you guys should all have a chance to decompress. So, how about we set something up for tomorrow? My office, say noon, with your senior staff only.
Much appreciated, sir. I know the crew will be happy to have a break in the career, the continuous stream of life and career-changing events.
Arn now kind of steps in towards you guys, and he has a very direct, honest approach to you. You could tell he's the kind of guy who says things that piss people off, but he kind of always has that feel of honesty, which kind of gets him through on that. He steps in specifically to the three of you now, since Narc has run away, and he goes, now listen, I want to say something personally. Orders aside, what you guys went through on a tow ship, that's hell, especially with your own captain doing what he did. So as far as I'm concerned, you and your ship are heroes, all right? You guys remember that, and you come to me if you need anything. Are we understood?
Sir. We appreciate that.
All right. I have one other matter of to attend to. You see one of the people kind of next to him to his left is just somebody like obviously an assistant, working in a hollow pad taking down notes. But there's another woman to the other side of him who is extremely pretty. But like model pretty. It's kind of ridiculous. Very fair skin, very blonde hair, up in a ponytail. She's smiling ear to ear, just kind of glowing. I want everybody other than Narc, since he's not there, to give me a check.
What kind of check?
I'm going to tell you. Give me a second.
For me, it would have been a sanity check, so I'm just gonna.
Insight security would have been a sanity check. Nice.
Everybody knows there's no such thing as a sanity clause.
Oh, ridiculous.
Would any of my focuses
survival count?
Investigation focus work here, or
I'll allow it.
Oh, that was close. One. I definitely didn't almost box that.
Double check.
Ooh, 2 for me.
So we have low standards. Normal results are very scary.
Oh, please. It's when we this is normal.
1 to 2 successes all around.
Okay, so Enzo, take a success for me real quick. Give me 1 second. Forgot to check something.
Exactly.
Do explosivo.
Okay. All right. Just gonna have to figure it out. Okay. So you guys all get a success on her, and you kind of realize she's not a normal officer right away. Who got the 2 successes? Enzo, you realize she is probably Section 31.
That's
and she
really
just got-
obvious to get that on the second success. But then again, they're not known for being that subtle.
Mm,
I
not in
try
this
not.
position, because she's about to tell you.
Oh,
She goes, she kind of steps up. Well, Arn actually like motions to her and goes, Commander Sonny. Remember the name? The last name is Sonny Sitch here. Is our well, she has a matter to discuss with you. She steps up. She goes, "Hi, how you guys doing today? Everybody feeling good? You guys did a great thing out there in space. It was really awesome. Now I have to speak." She looks directly at Tobin. She goes, "Tobin, right, Captain? I am with Section 31, and we're gonna need to talk to Ensign. I'm sorry, Lieutenant Junior Grade Stephen Tinkers."
can we just discuss openly what this might be about?
Well, considering you filed the report, I would assume you already know. But no, not right here, not right now. But don't get me wrong, it's not like he's under arrest or anything. It's not like we take prisoner people. You guys are all wonderful heroes. We just need to talk to him about some things and run some tests and just keep him under observation for a little bit. Okie dokie?
Okay. I will go talk to... I'll make sure Lieutenant Tinkers gets to your office, Commander.
Look, I know. Section 31 gets a bad rap, hey? I know the stories, but let's face it. If I was going to arrest him, I'd be here with a contingent of guard, and we just take him away, and you never see him again. But I'm telling you right now, just send him my way tomorrow, and we'll just have a good conversation, okay?
Yeah, we'll take care of that, Commander.
That's great. And you guys need anything, you know how to get a hold of me. And you guys do not know how to get a hold of her. She just steps back.
I know how to get a hold of her.
Yeah, you look in the mirror and then you say 3 times. Oh wait, no, that's
No, you just go Julian Bashir, and suddenly there's 30.
All right. At this point, however, you hear Arn kind of mumble like a curse word under his breath. You think, you're not sure. And then you notice that he's seeing something out of the corner of his eyes. You guys kind of look over that way, and you see a procession of the Romulan delegation heading your way. Romulan uniform and everything.
Well,
Meanwhile, one of them breaks off. The Section 31 breaks off. There's an epic battle in the background.
dun, 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 dun,
Talshiar versus Section 31.
They just both look at each other and start doing this motion, like.
No, it turns
Like
into
all
the
season.
JoJo scene. Jotaro.
You dare approach me?
if you add in the remainder of the Obsidian Order, it just turns into that fight scene from Anchorman.
But then we got to throw in the Klingon honor guard.
Okay. At this
All
point,
right.
they're kind of heading over. Arn kind of looks back at you guys and goes, "Hey, they're our allies now. You're about to meet the admiral in charge of the Romulans. I'm kind of surprised she wanted to meet you guys, but she did tell me she was going to try and be here for when specifically the Danielson came in." At that point, she comes in before any responses come in. She immediately goes, "Hello, I believe you are the senior staff of the Danielson, correct?"
Yes.
Yep.
Sean.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Seatown.
Mhm.
Gotta get that better. Give me a roll. You know what? This isn't even gonna be a roll. You see it immediately. Okay, so much like the procession with the Admiral, there is one person, 2 people kind of standing to the right of the Romulan Admiral. But then there's another woman standing to her left, slightly behind her, that it takes you a second. You do a double take, but it looks exactly like pictures you have seen of your mother. This does not make any sense to you whatsoever, but nonetheless, Lenra Hanover is confused and rattled to say the least.
Not really. I pay it no mind.
Course. Okay. So at this point, the admiral kind of speaks to Captain Tobin.
Yeah,
Correct?
I'm Captain Law.
Look, I know our peoples have had their differences in the past. My name is Admiral shouldn't have picked a so complicated name. Shiara. And I just want to say, I believe that the only reason this accord can be going on is because of you.
Tobin has linguistics and can actually say that name correctly. I'm not going to...
That's fine.
I'm going to
That's
butcher
totally
it
fine.
some way.
Admiral NS.
Yeah. No, it's... Peace in our time is a... It's not something we expect to... we're actually expected to see in my life, in this lifetime.
That is my sentiments exactly. But we are here, and we have a chance to forge ahead in a different manner than we have before. And I am personally committed to that. I know that Admiral M. Gralka, that's right, M. Gralka, when she arrives for the Klingons, will in fact be of the same mind. You guys all remember who that is? If you don't, as players, remember who that is definitely the Klingon with Sirik.
We never learned the name.
I would. I definitely.
You did. You would. You would know.
Oh, Enzo knew the name. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Those
That's
are
my
eyes
bad.
sort of-
Yeah. Everybody
My
else is fine, like... Blop, blop, blop.
Yeah.
Good.
So Enzo knows.
I try not to growl.
T-Rex would know too, I guess.
Sure, but she's not here, so.
That's true. Just senior staff right now. And then she goes, I'm sure she will also, and Admiral Anderson has been nothing but fair. I think that together we can really make something happen. And I think you, your crew, are the people to thank for this. So if you need anything from us as well, in the spirit of cooperation, let us know.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you
Seatown,
for your hospitality. We are getting acquainted with the station.
Of course. And I know this is a lot to go through after just arriving. So I will, of course, give you your space. But I wanted to personally welcome you myself. So Seatown, give me, that's why I'm on the wrong freaking, there we go. Okay, Seatown, give me an insight security roll.
Screw it, I'll burn a momentum.
Okay.
Raise that up to 3 dice. Just see. And of course, here we go. 1 success, and there's a complication. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
All right. I know what the complication is. All right. Lenra goes out of her way to pay no attention to the woman who looks exactly like her mother standing next to the admiral, but finds it impossible. She has to kind of glance over to her a few times. It's just because it doesn't make sense, because the woman that you knew, it just wasn't this. It couldn't possibly be this. What's interesting about what she sees when she witnesses the woman a couple of times is that the woman seems to be as shocked by your face as by hers to you. And then she seems to, you got a success. I'm going to give it to you. She seems to kind of like motion to you with her head to kind of like maybe come over and talk to her for a second after this whole powwow is done.
Okay.
Do you nod to her?
No. I have duties after this, namely tracking down Narc and making sure he's not climbing the walls because there's Romulans everywhere.
Okie dokie. All right.
Through weird coincidence, he has myth.
All right. At that point, the
It's
admiral.
just so weird. What coincidence that.
Strangest
The
thing.
admiral just kind of like the admiral at this point, bids her farewell, and then the procession kind of like turns and walks off. With the woman that looked like your mother speaking with the admiral at great length, kind of off to the side. All right. So where does everybody go?
I pause and expecting the Klingon delegation to already show up too, but even though the admiral's not here,
Right.
well,
you
I guess
kind of
we're
find out that the station is still kind of being worked on. While they had kind of started working on it before the Accords had ever gone through, because they were assuming they would, the Klingon part is not quite finished yet. You kind of get the feeling that maybe the Klingons were the last hangers on to not really go in on it, and the Accord, like, to basically be like, the Accords aren't going to happen. Like, we're going along with this, but they're not going to happen. And then when they happen, they're like, oh shit, we got to help them finish that station. So, like, their side, while they do have a few ships docked and some crew there, it's mostly people just working on the Klingon side, workers and whatnot. It's not really like the actual Klingon force that will be using this as their home base. So no more processions.
well, staff dismissed. Take a break for once, as much as one can.
I sort of nod, and then I go find Tinkers.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
gonna have to go. I'm going to end up going the same way,
Okay.
but
I'm going to go find Narc to make sure he's not freaking out because he's run into Romulans or trying to rewire the station's holodeck.
All right,
Not
Narc, where
necessarily.
did you go?
I went straight to the security station,
Okay.
like wherever like Odo's office. I don't know. It's
All
it's
right,
the only time I've ever seen like a security room or anything. So
well, this is the first time being on the station. You took very little time to understand where you were supposed to go or how to go there. And even though I'm sure they gave you a map or whatever, just give me a quick reason security roll.
oh, you okay. Well, the
somebody
way I'm
give
gonna
Narc
find the
a reason security roll.
I was gonna say the way that I would find the security station is literally just find the first red shirt that has a phaser or looks intimidating, run
Oh,
up to
that's
them,
fair.
and immediately just start yelling at them. I have to go to the security station right now. Somebody has to take me to the security station. There's an incident.
There's an incident. Okay. You get a red shirt. You kind of yell this at him, and he goes, sir,
This is what I was talking about.
what's been the incident?
I need to make a secure communication immediately.
Oh,
Can you detain me?
no, sir, you haven't done anything wrong. I can't detain you. You just got off the ship.
I know it's been a little while, man, but it got weird quick.
At this point, Lenra catches up to you. He's yelling at a security guy to detain him. Seatown, Lenra catches up to him.
I see him doing this, and I just kind of face palm for a second and go.
At this point, you basically just overhear him going through like what vague regulations he knows about things and trying to like convince them that it's important and he has to go to jail.
Narc.
Oh, hi. Funny seeing you here. Not because there's the Romulans and we're in Romulan space or anything. That's not why it's funny. I'm laughing because it's funny. It's not nervous laughter.
I
am pretty nervous.
The ensign or whoever he was harassing, I go, what? I'm the first officer of the Danielson. What was my science officer requesting?
He was asking to be detained because he needed to make a secure, send a secure message. However, we don't have prisoners send secure messages, so I'm not sure exactly what he was going for here. But
Narc, you can do that from the quarters on the station. You've been assigned quarters.
Yes. There's just this small issue with the sonic shower in the bathroom facility. I have a request in for it. Can you come with me right now? Great. I'm just gonna grab you by like your lapel and just sort of drag you off to basically just like a foot and a half away from this guy.
As like you really quickly grab Lenra and start to drag her, and at that point the security officer is like, "Excuse me, you can't." You wave him off?
I wave him off. I'm like, just give him the look of, I'm used to this. It's kind of one of those of like, this is.
He shrugs and like puts his hands up, and then he mutters
Actually,
to himself,
better yet,
"Man,
I look at the
Danielson guys are weird."
I just look at no. Before actually I get drug off, I just look at the incident and go, Barkley protocol.
All right.
At this point, they probably have such a thing.
Yeah,
so I literally just dragged Lenra like maybe a foot and a half off to the side. So I mean, totally still right next to the guy.
Yeah.
Right.
We need to get to a secure location immediately, and we need to send a secure communication immediately, securely, and immediately.
Fine. We actually had back.
Wait, really?
Yes.
That's great.
Mark's like, wait, can I ask for other things?
I just.
What conversation button did I push there? I gotta remember.
We can go back to the Danielson so you can make the communication.
Yes, we could do that, but now that we're here and we might need to make a communication using secure Romulan frequency, it would probably look a lot less suspicious if we did that from a place that was already sending Romulan communications, especially if they were encoded and priority one straight to a specific person in Starf High Command, lower command, any command, specific commands. I can't talk about that. But we could talk about that on a secure communication.
This involves the shit, doesn't it?
I don't.
It's a shower situation, man. A shower situation.
What stint? Yes, we'll be on this station for quite a long stint, as far as I understand, until we get other orders that are not the orders. Is there? I just turned right back to the security officer. Is there a doctor or a medical station or
I need to ask
a holodeck?
Lieutenant Backwater to make sure we have just like a hypo spray or something on hand for all senior staff to just kind of like.
I swear to God, it's getting to the point where we all have to carry tranquilizers for narc.
Kind of A team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
okay. So what do you guys do aside from yell at each other? Like actually,
Leonard's not yelling. She's just like, okay, this is a normal Tuesday. Pretty much. I'm like, okay, narc, let's go to your quarters. Let's just go to your quarters.
My quarters? Maybe we should go to your quarters first. Since this is the first time we're going to each other's quarters, maybe, I know.
Fine.
Let's go see Tinkers. Usually when I'm freaking out like this, he just stands there and stares at me until I calm down.
I just look at Narc, I go, Tinkers is wanted by Section 31 right now. He's out of play. Just like,
Narc just passes out. I could roll for it, guess.
No, it's perfect.
Boom.
404.
It's
No,
perfect.
no change of facial expression.
Narc not
Doesn't
found.
take a breath. Just boom.
Narc's ready by section 31. Boom. I look over at the security guard and I go, oh, thank God that shut him up.
Okay, you're down. Narc's down. He passes out. You're over him. At this
Tom
point,
badge. Need medical team on deck. What deck is this?
yeah, it's just cargo bay, whatever.
Whatever. And I get him to sick bay that way.
Okay, all right. Sick bay comes to get him. Sick bay kind of grabs him and takes him away. And as they take him away, you're kind of left alone for just a moment, and that's all that is required. You kind of turn around, and there she is again. Can I have a moment of your time? I'm definitely not who you think I am. I feel like you and I should get over this quickly if we're to be stationed on the same station.
Okay. I have no problem with that.
You seem to have a problem with it. I understand. It's rough to see my face. It was rough to see yours. You look just like her.
Yeah, I figured. Look, sorry if I came off cold.
I understand.
But to be honest with you, if this was a professional thing, I have no problem working with you. But yeah, yeah.
Well, look, my name is Renshu. I'm Takal's sister. Takal was your mother. I don't know if your father ever told you her name. I haven't seen her in a long time, and I understand. I wish she could have been better, but I'm not her, and I know who you are now. I feel like maybe we should just take some time, have a conversation, and then move on from there professionally.
Okay.
All right. I know you want to get cleaned up. How about we meet in the promenade in about a half an hour?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Looking forward to it. And then she walks away. Okay. So C-Town heads back to his Lenra heads back to her room to get cleaned up and whatnot. We are going to switch to Enzo and Tobin as they find Steven Tinkers. You just hear him having a loud conversation with another ensign, like, no, it was crazy, man. These little guys were all over the place. They thought I was really cool, but I'm not very cool, man. I tell you who's cool. Narc, the captain, Lenra, cool cats, man. Cool cats. And Enzo, man, have you ever seen that old 20th century movie, RoboCop? Kind of got a RoboCop thing going on. And then he kind of turns around and sees you and he goes, oh, hey, Lieutenant Commander? Fuck, I can't remember. Whatever. You get it.
Sounds like a pretty cool movie. We should check it out sometime.
Oh, RoboCop's the best, man. I love it. Special effects are great. A little violent, a little on the violent side. I tend to make it a little bit, like it a little bit less bloody, but great movie, great flick, man. What's up with you guys? What brings you to Steven Tankers?
You have anything going on right now, Ensign?
He's like,
Lieutenant.
He kind of looks at Lieutenant Junior grade. He kind of looks around, and then he looks back at the ensign and he goes, "Hey, buddy, you mind if I talk to them?" And then the guy, you realize now the guy is sitting on a crate reading something off a holoku, and he looks up and he goes, "What? Huh? Yeah, sure, okay." He's like, "Cool, man. It's nice talking to you." And he just hits him on the back as if they were talking the entire time. Then he turns around to you guys. "All right, Captain. Lieutenant, what can I do for you guys? You guys look real sad and scared right now. I don't mind saying it. I hope I'm not overstepping by saying that, but I feel like the fact that you're just kind of standing there not saying anything makes me worried that something ominous is kind of hanging over my head. I don't know where I'm getting that from.
I don't know where that came from. So, there's some of the security people on the station wanted to have a talk with you.
All right.
I'm guessing it's about your time with the Doug, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I know if Billy's had a chance to talk to him yet?
Yeah. I mean, I would say he would have let you know that he had the discussion with him. So he probably got back to you and said Steven really didn't get it that much,
Yeah.
He probably would have gotten back to you and said he just feels like he's a very empathetic soul.
That's nice. He's nice. Oh boy.
He's like, it was crazy about the Doug. That's crazy. The doctor said there's something going on with my genetic code.
Oh yeah, you don't know about that. Oh my. Oh.
I just sort of look at Tinkers and then at the captain and back.
What?
Enzo's just like, you got this, bud? Just like that.
I'm gonna go fight T-Rex. Have fun, Captain.
Well, this is above my pay grade. Have fun.
All right. Hey,
Have fun,
Tinkers,
buddy.
they're going to cut you open like a frog. Bye!
It's all right. It's all right. They have laser scalp cauterizers on the way in.
I just got genetically modified. Wait, what?
So, Lieutenant,
I'm an X-Men now.
I don't know what that is, but I appreciate your enthusiasm. So we are unfortunately obligated to speak with them. But I want you to know that you have our support. We don't think that you definitely saved all of us at the time, and so we'll make sure that everything's okay. So if you need anything, you make sure to
just tap on the glass and we will wave at you.
The Tinkers looks at you real long and he goes, Captain, permission to speak freely.
Lieutenant, I feel like you would do that regardless, but I'll give you permission so it makes us all feel better.
Back home we had this dog and he got real sick, and then everybody kind of talked to him the way you're talking to me right now, and that's making me real nervous. I wasn't nervous before, but now I'm nervous. Kind of nervous how old Rover was nervous, because Rover didn't last much longer after that, so maybe should I be a little worried here?
You've been with the ship long enough to know that probably everything that comes up is worth worrying about.
Yeah, we got a lot of problems, don't we? But hey, man,
we've made it through all of them so far. So
he just shakes his head and he just looks at you. It's like, made them through all of them so far. We're gonna make it through all of them.
Exactly.
Period, in the future. We're freaking Danielson, man.
No, you're right.
We bumped a ship in warp and we blew up a warship 3 times our size and power.
Fair point.
Then we took on a bunch of boarders. We took on some weird bubble monsters. And then we went ahead and fought some sort of giant mutant lizard shredder. I mean, what can't we do, right, Captain? This ain't nothing. I'm sure it's fine. They just want to talk about some stuff. Who do I gotta go see?
Given we have the plot armor of Murphy's Law on our side right now, I just
said Tinkers doesn't have any plot armor. I can assure you.
No.
With the
I said the
exception of
plot
fact that
armor.
I like his voice, and that would be very
No.
There's
I
some
said
big
the plot
efforts.
armor of Murphy's Law, which is the Admiral has purposely set us on this failure equation. By
Yeah.
doing so, he's invoked Murphy's Law. Therefore,
Okay.
we are going to be the problem that causes all the problems that will cause the failure equation to fail.
Yep.
There it is. There
See?
it is. You've named the series
Wait,
finale.
the failure of the fail.
equation
Isn't that
fails.
the anti-life equation?
Yeah.
No,
it's
wait, that's a
called
different
Murphy's
universe.
Law.
Never mind.
That's
Only
different.
slightly
That's
different.
different.
It's
That's
called
different.
Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
All right, so he's good now. He's just talked himself into being really positive about the whole situation.
And that makes me feel better about it. Enzo does not look like he feels any better about this. Perhaps slightly worse than when it started.
All right, so he's like, well, if there's anything else, guys, I'm gonna go get ready for this very important meeting.
Okay, just keep us report back, and once
He
it's over.
clasps your shoulder and he goes, "Oh, Captain, nothing's gonna happen. We're the Federation. We're the good guys."
Exactly.
And that is the
Just
last
walks
we ever
off.
see of. And
Yep.
that is the last we ever see of Steven Tinkers.
I twitch a little bit.
Commander, I think we
don't do
should
with Tinkers?
get a hold of Narc and see if there's anything we can do on our side to
Captain, I
help.
think we should get everyone to check in on a regular basis.
Everyone.
There aren't that
Captain.
many of us. It doesn't take long.
There's very few.
On my way back to the quarters, because I figured this is happening the same time as the scene with Narc.
Oh yeah.
I hit the communicator and go, Captain, just a warning, Narc is heading his way to the sick bay. He passed out.
Which sick bay?
Check with the computer.
Computer, locate
I've got evil Romulans to
Lieutenant
meet.
Narc.
I gotta go deal with personal issues.
Damn that subplot.
That sounds like a personal problem.
I just look at the captain and was like, oh boy.
All right, so we're gonna switch back to Seatown. Seatown, you get cleaned up, you head to the promenade, irritated, ready to get this over with, everything. The promenade is not super busy. There are some people here. Obviously, it's not going to be super crowded until all the ships start arriving. You guys were not the first ships to arrive. That was actually, I never really said that. It was just like a misunderstanding. But you are one of the first ships. So walking through the station is crazy because it's a huge station and it's just like, it's very empty, very like graveyardy sort of feel. Kind of like city streets at 3 a.m. You know what I mean? There's nothing going on, but there's tons of people everywhere. So you end up walking in the promenade and you're kind of, you see her, she kind of waves to you kind of at a far table, kind of off to the back in the corner. Because that's definitely where one of them would sit. It's just like waves to you politely.
Yeah, I head over. Len was not really irritated. She kind of figured this.
Okay.
Entering Romulan space, there was potential something like this could happen,
Okay.
but she thought it was like low because the universe is big. But also, given the fact what we've been going through, it just does not surprise her.
Star Trek definitely is all about the small world. This universe is very small after all, you know. So you sit down at the table. A waitress comes over. She asks for a waitress to come over to take your order. You order, I'm assuming. Do you eat anything?
I'm good.
Good. She's like, straight to business. Look, this does not have to be unpleasant. I don't have any history with you whatsoever. Obviously, we're sitting here at a table, but I think we're sitting here at a table more to get over the awkwardness than it is to go through and rehash past traumas. All I'll say is this. I apologize for my sister. She was not the strongest in our family, not as strong as me, and she was not strong enough to attempt to do what she did with you, and she failed you, and that is awful.
Okay, first, to clear up the first thing, there's no trauma involved with what happened. My mother did what she did because she was who she was. I never knew her. And, my dad gave me a good life.
He sounds like an honorable man.
So I understand that you may think that there's a personal slight or anything else going on here, but there isn't.
All right.
And to be honest, I'm not angry at her. I'm not angry at you or any of that side of the family, in the sense of bloodline. But I'm going to be honest with you. There is more connection to that than just blood.
Okay.
And professionally, I have no problem with you. I have no problem with you right now. So I'm sorry if I came off as awkward, but we were still in the middle of other things.
Well, and
at the
seeing my
time.
face would have been a surprise to you. I understand that. And
Yeah,
I'm sorry
and-
I was strangely awkward. I was not expecting to see your face.
Trust me, these past few weeks have been interesting. So it doesn't surprise me that something like this was going to happen.
Well, in the interest of Frontier One, certain records, overall mission records, are shared between all three. I've seen some of the things that have happened to you, and they have been, well, nothing short of trying, I would assume.
That is an understatement.
I personally think you handled yourself brilliantly, though. I mean, from everything I've read, obviously the words in a report only do so much to explain what happened. Only the people who live it can really understand the situation.
Well, I mean, no offense by this. I know Romulans can be secretive to a point, and I know that's an understatement in certain ways. But in this case, I will only say this about those reports. There may be more depth to them than even you know.
You know what? You're right. Romulans can be a little bit secretive, and this is a time for change and a time for trust. And I think, personally, just from reading the reports and getting to know you, that if there is no awkwardness between us, you and I could potentially work together on some things. With that being said, would you possibly take an offer? You know what? I'm just going to put it out there, and maybe you will take it. I'm Tal Shiar.
Kind of figured.
Well, you figured that because you're an incredibly bright young lady who does not, if you don't mind me say, does not get enough respect on her ship whatsoever. But I think I know why that is. Have you potentially had problems with Admiral Sirik?
I just kind of lean back and give her a look of, I'm not at liberty to say.
Well, that's fair. I understand that you
more implying that more than likely yes.
Yes, right.
But
right.
I can't blatantly come out and say yes.
She puts her hand up. She goes, I understand. I've been in that position more times than one. But look, we are working together now, our two peoples. And while I know me just saying what I am probably makes you a little worried, I want to work with you. And I also want you to work with me.
I understand that.
So,
And my concern
I'm sorry.
is more along the lines of the implications if things keep digging and the dangers that could be presented. And there are things that need to be put in place to protect that piece
I understand.
so that
What
there
you
are no
need to
more
do,
children like me.
I understand. What you need to do is take down Cyric without touching the Accord. And unfortunately, as much as I would like to give you that, I can't. I don't have anything to take down Cyric outside of I don't have anything to take him down. However, I do have information for you. Stuff that can help you defeat Cyric. But unfortunately, I have a problem too. And I think respectably you can understand that I will have to get something in return for my information.
Oh, I understand.
You have not been briefed yet by Admiral Anderson. He's going to tell you about many things that are going on in this quadrant. One of them, obviously, the Shint. I'll let him fill you in on that. We've been dealing with them for some time. He's also going to tell you some other things, but one of the big things he's going to talk about is the Freebirds, which is something that has been giving us a hard time for a long time. They are a group of human pirates who have somehow gotten into the Beta Quadrant and have been here for some time. They used stolen Romulan vessels, old stolen Romulan vessels, that they then kit out to attack our settlements and attack us. They are terrorists of the highest order, and they want nothing to do with the Accord. They want to destroy the peace that we've built here.
Okay, back in my head, I'm taking this and going in. Threat to Romulans, meaning they've attacked Tal Shiar assets. It's like all the things. It's like could actually mean it, but could also mean.
That's
Could
true.
actually mean, but could also
That's
mean.
true.
Could
I do want to say, while she is Tal Shiar and you should be suspicious as all get out, she does seem to be speaking to you very honestly and candidly. She doesn't seem to be lying to you.
That's
Of
where
course,
they get you. It's
That
the
is true.
KGB tactic. I'm your friend.
That's true, but sometimes the KGB are your friend. In any case, and I said that on an open mic, and in that case, and Nick's gone. Like Nick's gone because of it.
I should still be here.
No, you're here. I just can't see you. I just thought it was funny because I couldn't see you after I said it, and I was like, he's out. It's the equivalent of Narc passing out. So Seatown, so she does seem to be being honest with you. Of course, you could have your suspicions. That's totally warranted. But she does seem to be being open and honest and candid with you. So she continues. She goes, the biggest problem I have is that I have assets. I have intel that says that there is an officer on your side of the fence that is feeding the Freebirds direct information that can undermine the Accord and us. They would be not just a traitor to us, but a traitor to your people as well. However, obviously, me being who I am, I cannot walk into the Admiral's office and declare he's got a traitor amongst them. Let me interrogate all his people. You understand the dilemma that I'm in. Can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I muted.
No, you're fine, man.
A little bit. Out of character, I'm trying to figure out a traitor in the Admiral's ranks.
In the Federation side.
In the Federation side.
There is a Federation person feeding the Freebirds information. Well, according to her, there's a Federation person, officer, whatever, feeding information to the Freebirds on undermining the Accords. So there's somebody in the Federation that not just wants to like fuck up the Romulans, but wants to destroy the Accord, doesn't want the peace.
Mm-hmm.
That at least that's what she's telling you.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind.
All right. If you resolve this situation for me, I can give you some information. I hate to do this. I do want a relationship with you, but I feel the best way to have a relationship with you is professionally. And this is professional.
Uh-huh.
But I think you are the kind of person who could undertake this kind of heavy responsibility. Something that your federation has just not seen fit to put in you this entire time.
And that is?
I mean, everything. The command, everything. You passed over. I mean, obviously, I'm sure Cyric you're on his bad side, so he's trying to undermine you. But Tobin, I've seen Tobin's reports. He's a fine officer, a fine pilot, but not a captain. You're a captain.
Oh,
yet,
I'm aware. And
let's face it, you shouldn't be captaining some towboat either. You should be captaining an actual ship, especially after what went down out there with Anaphis. Anaphis was the captain. You were the first officer. You took command after that, and you're in the position you're in.
I have one question for
Sure.
you. Simple question. Wasn't there a Romulan ambassador involved in these accords?
Yes,
Yeah.
there was.
One who would have been on a certain colony at the same time?
I will give you her name.
I don't want her name.
It's in my
All right.
notes somewhere.
As you said,
There are 3 you really need to look at.
Okay.
Because they're the 3 you need to look at. 100%. Because I will say this. The name on the accords shouldn't be Sarix.
Okay. I will look into this. As far as
God, what was the name of the freaking planet? Oh,
Cascade.
Yeah.
Right? It's Cascade,
Yeah.
right?
I recommend you check Cascade a little closer.
It's her turn to tell you that she's looked into it without telling you she's looked into it. She kind of leans back and goes, I may or may not be aware of certain situations there and have certain suspicions that I have gathered possibly through intel. I am aware of certain individuals being involved in what could be considered malicious acts. But it is, as you said previously, the Accords and what they are doing are too important to bring any punishment against those people. I think we're of the same mind.
That's my point, is that the focus of the Accords needs to be taken off of them and the people who were on Cascade.
All right. I want to say this right now.
They are the ones who formed the Accords.
If you want to do that, I will help you do that. But the only way to do that is to defame the people whose names are on the Accord. And we can't defame them with what actually happened there. Let's work together. Let's bring them down. Let's find things that can bring them down that have nothing to do with the Accords. And then the Accord will continue to stand. But before that, we need to establish trust. And to establish trust, I think you and I are of the same mind on this situation. I will help you with these problems, but you have to help me with mine. It's the only way for us to establish this bond. It's the Romulan way to establish this bond. So find me the traitor. You don't even have to give it to me. Give it to your people. Just point out your traitor, even to Admiral Anderson. He is everything that I have researched, an honorable man. Give the traitor to him, but find the traitor, root it out, and then we will talk, and we will do business.
I'll keep that in mind.
She goes, I'm going to give you one more piece of information. And then she slides you a piece of paper, like an actual piece of fucking paper. She slides it to you. And then she goes, it has been a pleasure, Lenra. And I hope, despite whatever past we have a future together. And then she stands up and walks away.
I lean back in my chair as she walks away, and I go, that woman doesn't realize something. I don't identify as Romulan. And I get up and I walk away from the table, and I'll look at the paper later.
Okay. All right. You let me know when you look at the paper, okay? Wait a second. What just happened?
All right.
Okay. Yeah. That's
what?
fine. It was an old Discord message, but I just noticed that it popped up. I thought somebody was trying to say something to me, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we will switch off. Does anybody else want to do anything else before tomorrow's meeting?
I'm gonna check in with the security crew, sort of let them know what's going on with Tinkers,
Okay.
and to
Oh, that was weird.
while
I'm just
while
blinking.
while everyone has quarters on the station, I recommend that they spend time keeping an eye on the ship when they have a moment.
You get some eye rolls from everybody, from the other two, other than Kyle and T-Rex, but they all are okay with it.
I mean,
So
I'm not setting on like a training regime right now. Or anything.
We have a
Right.
disproportionately large security detail. They can do loops.
There's been a lot of murder
there were
homicide around you, so I guess.
Yeah, but that was all the crew of the other ship, not our ship.
And the other ship,
This is
and that
true.
other ship.
Yeah. Like our security teams haven't really been touched.
That was our captain, and 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 our captain.
Our captain's taken more damage than anybody else.
Yeah,
we have an ablative
really,
captain.
they
All
should
right.
just be around Tobin at all times. It should just be like 3 of them around Tobin with phaser rifles ready. Shit's gonna fall out of the sky on him. We got it.
Once per episode, Tobin must suffer.
Okay, so I gotta ask in between, because I do check it later, what does the paper actually say?
Okay. The paper just says section 31.
Of course it does. Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Enzo.
Okay. All right. Are you going to talk before or after the meeting with Admiral Anderson?
Before.
Okay.
Right. Definitely before.
Okay. All right.
We also need to talk to Narc still before, if possible. If he wakes up.
Yeah, Narc's still like. Who is going to talk to Narc? He's just in the med bay, right?
Yeah.
I had been, but I got sidetracked talking to the security folks.
Yeah.
Okay, you're talking to security folks. We'll go to Tobin. Tobin, you're headed to the sick bay to check on Narc. You actually run into Backwater. He just kind of has a, well, howdy, Captain. How you doing today?
Doctor? Getting a chance to take a break?
I guess. I mean, I have been asked to consult on my patient. That is Lieutenant Junior Grade Narc. Apparently, he passed out in the cargo hold.
I don't think he could hear you.
Yes, that does seem to be. That's where I'm headed as well.
Like Seatown and.
I
Hold
can
on.
hear.
We have audio quirk. Hold on, let's try this again.
Seatown must be having something because he's talking, and I don't think he hears us.
Nick Jitsu joined Grid Fam again, and I can see and hear him. He's also on
same.
All right, sound checks, everybody.
Sound check. Check one. Check one. Check one.
Check one. Check one.
Nick just left the Grid Fam for me, so check one.
Check. Uncheck. Recheck. Check.
This is
check.
definitely going to be a part 1 of 2.
Yeah.
With all the technical stuff.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. Nick Jitsu, if you can.
Okay, can you... Oh.
Stop restarting for a second.
Hi, chat. How are you guys doing? What's been
Hey!
your favorite part of the evening tonight? Did you guys enjoy the first time we crashed with Grid Fam, the second time, or the seventh time? Let us know in comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button, ring that notification bell, and hit that sub. Every little sub helps in the algorithm. What?
All right, we see...
Chat, say hello, YouTube.
YouTube speed, yeah.
Hey!
My pre-rehearsed YouTube speed.
Hold up, wait. Nick Jitsu, check. Mike check.
Yes.
Yay!
Yep.
Hey!
Back.
Okay, all right. So.
All right. So yeah, Backwater was talking to Tobin. Are we okay to continue that?
Yep.
He goes, yeah, I gotta go check on my patient Narc. Apparently passed out in the cargo hold.
Yeah.
When they wouldn't let him be detained.
It's Narc. I'm on my way to speak to him as well.
Well, you mind if I just tag along then?
Well, we're going to the same place, so let's.
All right. He starts to walk with you, and he says, I tell you what, Captain. Have you ever thought? Look, just between you and me, isn't it kind of funny that Narc is able to? I don't know, that he made it through the academy with the certain mental issues that he seems to have.
I mean,
Barkley protocol.
we have. Doctor, you've seen the rest of the crew.
Oh!
I have seen the rest of the crew. I just figured, Admiral Sierra cat it out for you or something.
The Academy is an interesting place.
It is an interesting place. I mean, heck, there's a pirate running our engines. Oh, a freaking pirate. Like Jolly Roger Yo-Ho.
Yeah, and doing a surprisingly decent job of it.
Oh, I'm not complaining about their work, Captain. I'm just saying the crew looks a little motley.
I am, from what I've read, it requires an extraordinary amount of patience to be an instructor at the academy.
Fair enough. All right, you guys get into sickbay. Narc, you have woken up from your they have you've kind of come to, and you are calmed down. So yeah, they gave you like a mild sedative, not to put you to sleep, but just to calm you the fuck down. Yeah, the doctor walks in and goes, Narc, you all right?
I don't know. Am I? Have we? I'm just looking up at the illumination panels on the ceiling and just start like 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I'm just counting the lights in case there's a quiz later. Are we still in Starfleet custody, or are we in Romulan custody?
We are in. Backwater just looks at you and goes, "We're not in anyone's custody. Narc, we're assigned to the Frontier 1. You're in the sickbay because you done passed out in the cargo hold."
Computer, end program.
They're just all standing there.
Lieutenant,
I've got my comm badge? Okay.
The only awkwardly green thing around here at the moment is you. You look like you've had a long day.
Captain, it's the captain. Hey, Captain, could I use your command credentials to make a secure transmission?
No, but we can go talk about this somewhere else.
I start looking around and probably start sweating when he suggests that we should leave. Together, just me and you, and that's just us.
And the doctor.
Backwater immediately starts to talk to you in a calm voice and starts to go over breathing exercises that he's worked out with you in certain moments of extreme tension that you have had over the course of the last few months to try and calm you down. You're in a safe place, Narc. Everything's all right.
You're right. And if this counts as a medical examination, then everything I say is confidential. Yes, Captain, I believe we should go someplace to talk immediately about my problem that I needed to discuss with you before concerning, Doctor, can I talk to you about the bathroom arrangements that we talked about previously?
Backwater just like rubs his head and goes, man, I can't tell if he is, I can't tell what's going on. Is he coming on to me or should we just go talk in a room somewhere?
We should go talk in a room somewhere, I think.
All right.
Look,
All
we're
right,
a motley crew, but I don't think Narc's trying to kickstart his heart.
Oh.
Okay, you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna.
You guys head to a room.
Gently nudge Narc away from
right,
medical staff.
As soon as they're like, hey, let's go talk in a room, he's just like, sure, great, no stress, no problem.
All right, what room do you guys go to talk to?
We can go all the way back. Honestly, all the way back to the ship.
Oh, okay. So he's totally calm until we get back to the ship, and then, yeah, okay. He'll probably need a little bit of like, what do you call that? Prodding.
Yeah.
Like literal prodding.
I don't know if Narc's cut out for this. All right, you guys managed to get Narc back into the meeting room, and at that point, the doctor just goes, all right, what are we doing?
So, confidentially, because this is a medical examination about my previously discussed... Okay, if we don't get a message to Admiral Cyric on some secure communication immediately, something bad is going to happen. I don't know what it is. It's probably going to happen to me, but you won't know because it won't be around anymore.
All right.
Okay.
Captain, I'm going to go ahead and let you ask some questions. I'm going to sit here and just be the confidential source of doctoring.
Yes. Ed, we have a few other things to discuss that you may have missed when you left regarding this arrangement. But let's take care of this one thing at a time.
Well, there were...
Well.
Okay, one thing at a time. So I used to be here, and I was supposed to be, but there aren't supposed to be any records that indicate whether I was here or not. And if there are any records, then I might be culpable of things that happened. Everybody died. It's not my fault. It's not what it sounds like. Well, actually, it's pretty much what it sounds like. I was there. Everybody died. I'm here now. We should call Admiral Cyric.
Yes.
Okay.
Doctor, if you could excuse us.
That would be a bad idea. This still needs to be confidential. Otherwise, my medical examination, and then the rest of the things that were being said. Well, is it going to be a secure communication?
Yes.
I don't know. I kind of like this relaxed atmosphere. I feel like I could say anything now. But okay.
All right. So what do you guys do then?
We are going to call the Admiral.
He definitely does not answer. You can send a transmission to
on a secure transmission.
Okay. Don't really have answering machines, I guess.
I guess it would probably So I was gonna say, like, I'm
Like, you're
basically trying to
him
send.
specifically, like him specifically, like
Well,
Cyric
yes.
specifically.
So and I don't fully understand how subspace radio and all that kind of stuff exactly works, but I'm basically trying to make the station put through a, like along their normal secure channels, like their normal secure lines, to Admiral Cyric, or his office.
Okay, you're not gonna get him, that's for sure. It's gonna go into the relay and kind of like, basically it's the equivalent of either he ain't there or he ain't picking up. And in any case, you guys don't have his like direct line. You have like you have the relay where you can request a secure transmission to him, but he's gonna say no.
Yeah, it's like his yeoman or something that just like goes to his front desk.
Just walk onto anywhere on the ship and going, we should just expose everything about something. He disappeared.
Just say it 3 times.
Yeah.
And he just pops in. Eyebrow.
It has to be in the mirror. Trust me.
No, Vulcan Evil says no. All right.
All right. So, can you send a report about this?
You could send a secure report to him for his items only. That would be fine.
Great. Yes, I'm going to do that.
Okay. What are you going to put in this report?
I'm going to the first conversation that I had with him after the incident, and I was back in Federation space and had access to a tricorder. I recorded the entire conversation, and I'm sending him that, which has absolutely no relevance except for the date timestamp that'll tell him exactly when the conversation took place, so that he knows this is the first conversation we had back in Federation space.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. All right. It's done.
Oh, and it's priority 1. And just like emergency, whatever their emergency stuff is.
Okay. He is not going to respond to you. I don't know how Narc's going to be able to continue because he just does not care. Okay.
Great.
You are done for now, though, right?
He's done, and now I can get.
Okay.
Now it's my turn.
Oh, okay. What are you doing?
Okay, so Narc, I could use your assistance with something.
Confidentially or
Confidentially.
Oh, sure, I'm great at that.
I know. So you missed before. We have Section 31 on the station.
Passes out again.
And they are interested in Lieutenant Tinkers, and I wish to preserve his safety. As well as ours. This may require your talents with security systems.
My talents with security systems.
That I
well, you pretty
don't
much
know
saw
about.
them. Oh, the ones you don't know about. Okay. Are these the ones that you don't know about that I'm supposed to know about, or the ones that you don't know about that I sometimes use without you knowing?
I don't know, but I would like your
Great.
advice
I can do this.
on this. You know what? I don't want I wouldn't like your advice. I grant your approval to find a solution to this.
Wait, me?
Mm-hmm.
Computer and program. Oh, okay, it's real life.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, Captain. This sounds important. I can definitely do this. Okay, so a solution. Sometimes Klingons get really, really angry and they shoot things or they stab things. I've seen it. It just in the holodeck. And if it was up close, I don't know how I would have survived. Just seeing it. I probably would have just. But anyways, So maybe the solution to the problem is point the Klingons at the. No, they'll just get cut in half and die. I think the solution is for us to just. No, that's not going to work either. We'll probably get cut in half and die.
All right.
You know, the
he's gonna
last
go
time-
through you in
I'll
his
let
head.
you think about this, and we'll break for now.
We're gonna
He just-
we're gonna switch
Yep,
off.
he just rattles off iterations of, that's probably not going to work. That's probably not going to work.
We're gonna switch off Enzo and Seatown or Lenra. Lenra finds Enzo.
Where would I find? Where would I? Be
Just
finding
hallway
Enzo right
because
Yeah,
he
I
was
was-
headed
I was
to.
Literally just talking to the security people.
Yeah, so he's just finishing up a conversation with them and then dismissing them.
now? Yeah, Lenra is pretty much still in the civvies from when she was in, dealing with
Right.
Auntie. I kind of look at Enzo and go, "You got a moment somewhere private?"
Sure. I just grab one of the conference rooms nearby.
Cool.
Sign of mine.
Section 31 in the Tal Shiar.
Okay. That's a bit deep for Wednesday afternoon, but all right.
Given what we've been going through, it's pretty shallow when you think about it. But yeah, my dear auntie apparently approached me and is trying to. God, this woman. She's a Tal Shiar agent
Okay.
looking into our dear friend, the Admiral. And apparently wants me to deal with a group of pirates that are supposedly trying to undermine the Accords. There's always more to a story, and we know it.
Sure. But
And somehow Section 31 may be feeding these pirates info. But again, hearsay from a Tal Shiar agent.
oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any information besides someone in the 700 billion member federation?
Oh, I think we know, if she's pointing me to Section 31, who it is.
I don't know how much you know about Section 31, but it's actually a fairly extensive organization.
There's only one Section 31 we know of on this station. And I even know they don't operate in large groups.
Right. But she didn't say a trader on this station. She said a trader in the Federation, you said, right?
Was it
It
close
was
to
on
the
the
Admiral
station.
on this? Yeah, it's on the
It was
station.
on the station.
Oh,
That's what she was saying.
on the
On the other
station.
side
The
of
Admiral,
the
the
station,
Admiral,
Federation.
they're directly connected to the Admiral on the station, and well, we saw
Okay.
who's assisting the
Then
Admiral.
I back up that a little bit.
Yeah. No,
That's
you're
totally
fine. You're
fine.
fine. You're fine.
Totally
You're
fine.
fine.
Interesting.
A lot going in at once. I know.
Yeah, a lot of exposition.
Yeah.
And she's after Tinkers.
Tinkers, I have a feeling there's something else going on.
Oh, Leonard doesn't know.
I wonder if we could use.
Neither does
that.
Enzo. It's the only people who know Tobin
Well,
and
Tobin-
Right. We don't know. We don't.
Tobin and
Yeah,
Backwater
okay.
mentioned it in front of Enzo, and
That's
Enzo was
true.
like, "The fuck."
Like I think
That's
me and Narc are the only two who don't know that
what's going on with him.
Tinkers. Yeah, we don't know
And I
what's
don't know
going
all
on.
that.
All we know is that Section 31 wants to meet with him.
Right.
That might be a reasonable way to get in to learn more about this person, and at least get a feel for if this is a kind of a lead we should be chasing or not.
Now, my
I'm not-
point is,
I'm not saying that like I believe your aunt, who's maybe Tal Shiar, probably. Just like this person is probably Section
probably
31,
Section 31. Yeah.
but it's hard to say. It's Section 31 and Tal Shiar. That's how it goes. But I
Yeah,
think
well.
that maybe using this as an opportunity to do a little bit of information gathering might not be the worst idea. We can go visit Tinkers. I mean, actually visit Tinkers. I'm sure you'd appreciate that if he's, still somewhere nearby.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm more telling you this more out of the fact of things are going to be coming down the line. I think once we get out there, that we need to keep our eyes on. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't, and I eventually do plan on informing the captain of this, but right now with NARC and everything else going on, we need to kind of just keep our eyes open on all this because,
well, if this is something we can get ahead of before we head back out, I think we should probably jump on it.
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up to you. Security boys and science nerds are going to have a better time doing it than me.
Well, maybe
I can talk to a point, but that doesn't get me through systems and into certain areas.
True, but you do the talk thing better than I do the talk thing.
Yeah, well,
anyway,
kind of how it works with a crew.
I don't know if we're going to be sent right out when we meet with the Admiral tomorrow or not. What time is it on the station?
You guys, it's probably pretty close to evening at this point. You guys you've been here for a while. You probably got in late afternoon, and a lot has happened. So I would say you guys are.
If our briefing isn't till noon, maybe let's meet up first thing in the morning. Go see if we can find out more about this person. I mean, because if she's got contacts that she's meeting with, we can maybe see if there's anything to these rumors or not.
No, we got to track Tinkers.
They're definitely on pirates. They're definitely trying to go after the Accords. I don't want the Accords to fail.
I don't want them to fail either. I just need the focus to be taken away from the Admiral and him to be, and his cohorts to be brought down for what happened on Cascade. That's the thing. We don't know their true involvement other than the possible massacre. So there's a lot to go into. Yeah, well, I hate to say this, a bit hinges on Tinkers right now.
Is what it is.
Always is.
Let's try and find him first thing in the morning.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So the evening comes to a close. You guys all go to sleep. Wake up the next morning.
I've actually got to cut it off here.
Oh, that's fine. I was actually building up to that.
Oh, okay, cool. Never mind.
Oh. Yeah, no, you're fine. We're gonna call this a halfer, thanks to technical difficulties. But we'll call it here for the game, if that's all right with Aether.
Right? I mean, gotta do what we gotta do.
All right. So I personally think anybody. Aether, would you mind if I did a plug on your show? Would that be all right?
As long as it's not for Raid Shadow Legends, you're good to go.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not. Honestly, I wouldn't tell you if it was because they'd be paying.
Nope, it's for NordVPN.
Sneak it in. Everybody out there,
kidding.
While it's going to be way jankier than this, I have done a live play show. It's not really like live that you're seeing it like Twitch, but it's going to come out on my YouTube channels. One for Axiom Games, then the other is on Old Man Gaming 2 days later. It is specifically for the wrestling RPG that myself and Mr. Mark Bell there have created and are publishing. That's coming out on September 1st, but we've got 8 episodes already in the bank. The first one is premiering this Saturday at just 8 a.m. On the Axiom Games, and then it'll go live on Old Man Gaming on Monday. So if you guys like live play but want something a little bit different, wrestling craziness, please check that out. And other than that, thank you so much, Aether, for allowing me to plug that. And for the show. Thanks to
Do
everybody.
you have
I
a
hope everybody had
drive-through
fun.
RPG link?
I do not yet because it is not released yet. We
Oh
are
my
waiting on
gosh.
final proofs, but yeah, so yeah, but it is done here.
We will shout that
This is
out
the
when it's
game right
available.
here. This is the
Woo!
game right there. That's the game. Proofs and everything. We did it. So yeah. So and then the cards. These aren't the good cards. I don't have the good cards next to me. But yeah. So it's a card-based RPG system for wrestling. So yeah. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And if you guys want to check that out, that'd be really nice. And thank you, Aether. Thank you, all the players. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys had fun. A lot of exposition and role playing today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll shut up now.
Exclamation point STA in the chat. We will be up on YouTube bright and early on Friday morning as usual. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Thanks, chat, for hanging out with us tonight. I will sign off. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
I was really hoping somebody would say it.
I gotcha.
All right. Am I audible? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Thanks, everyone, for coming in. It's been a lovely game. Glad to have everybody here. Hanging out this Wednesday evening. Love doing it. And thank you all. Thanks, Backdraft. Thanks, Thorns, Schnula, everybody else in the chat. Moon, if you're out there. Noah, all our friends. And we will see you all in 2 weeks. Have a lovely evening, have a good day, weekend, and all the things. Let this fat groove dry out. If I get 100 followers, OMG says he's gonna write a novel and read it in Tinker's voice. So get your friends to follow, please. Get your bots to follow. I don't care. And we'll have cool emotes and stuff, and we don't have to rely on frickin' BTTV. You want to use this emote on everyone's channel. You would like to use this emote in everyone's channel. Look at all the emotes. I have friends who make good emotes. Please. But anyway, I'm just being silly. Have a good night. I'm gonna let us play it out. Cheers, everybody.